In this segment, we look at our picks for the ranked games coming up, and we have 3 ranked games coming up. Number 3, Ohio State at Rutgers. Number 9, Penn State at Maryland. And Purdue at number 2, Michigan. We each get 1 minute to justify our pick, and you, the viewer, get to tell us if we're right or wrong in the comments. And take all the time you want, because there's no clock on you. Mac, are you ready to take down number 9, Penn State at Maryland?
I'm so ready.
All right. I got to fix my clock because I forgot to reset it. That's the other thing I forgot to do. Remembered to flip the screen. All right, are you ready? I've got the clock ready.
I'm ready. I said I was ready, so I'm ready.
And go.
Maryland is not but a turtle flat upon its shell. It would be just like them to lose to Northwestern, the literal worst team in the Big Ten, just to then upset Penn State in their rivalry game. Well, rivalry game. I think they've won like twice in the last 20 years or some nonsense. Penn State looked shaky at best against a reeling Indiana team that really had no business being in the game late. And Maryland, well, they started this season 5-0 and looked pretty good in the first. They looked pretty good. They did. They looked pretty good in the first half against Ohio State too, which is the note that I screwed up. But then they were like, oh yeah, we're Maryland. And then self-destructed in the second half with follow-up self-destructions against Illinois and the aforementioned Wildcats. And while I would love it for Maryland to win so that Michigan can avoid a 3-way tie with Ohio State and Penn State in the East Division, I don't think they're going to do that. So I'm taking Penn State 34-21.
Nice.
Thank you.
I think you only went over by about 2 seconds there.
No, I saw your finger was still up. That doesn't count.
I came in late.
What?
Sorry.
Well, that's not my fault then, is it?
All right, fine. It's not your fault. The game where the clock's made up and the points don't matter.
Nothing means anything. All right. You are on the... Are you ready?
I am ready.
He's ready. All right. Your time starts now.
This game ought to be fun, and here's why. Maryland played a better game against Indiana than Penn State did, but also they just played a worse game against Northwestern. Penn State is living in ambiguity, which is not really that hard to say. Penn State is living in ambiguity, hoping beyond hope that Ohio State and Michigan will fall apart in the next couple of weeks. They're not in control of their own destiny, but it is a familiar path for Penn State. Maryland needs one more win for a bowl game, and they're coming off a 3-game losing streak. If Maryland doesn't self-destruct, they've got a decent chance of, well, giving Penn State a run for their money. Last week, Indiana made Penn State work for the win, and I suspect Maryland will kind of do the same, but in the end, Penn State is just better. I've got the Nittany Lions 31-21.
Excellent. 8 seconds remaining. Well done.
Woot. All right. Our next game is number 3 Ohio State at Rutgers. Mac, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
And go.
All right, so for this one, I'm going to do one of those things where I say, here are all the reasons Rutgers could win, but then they won't. Okay, so they have a good pass rush. Ohio State's O-line is not so good. Okay, Rutgers' defense has actually not been bad at defending the pass. And Ohio State has like one receiver, okay? And their QB might be injured now. So Rutgers has a solid rushing attack that could keep the ball out of Ohio State's hands for a period of time. Problem is, I think Ohio State is just too strong a team to keep up with for all 4 quarters, especially for a team like Rutgers. Heck, they only got one good punch in against Michigan, and then Michigan was like, no, And that didn't end so well for them. So whatever. Anyway, I'm going to take Ohio State 35-14.
6 seconds left. Well done.
What can I say? All right, you've got 8 seconds on the clock. Hang on.
8 seconds?
Yes. All right, timer's ready. Are you
Let's
ready?
go. We're going to play the game. Oh, wait. Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And your time starts now.
Is Kyle McCord going to play this game? Early reports say, despite the injury, he will play against Rutgers. Will it make a difference? Probably not. The Scarlet Knights are on a 2-game winning streak, but they've already lost to Michigan and Wisconsin, and the Buckeyes are probably somewhere in between those two teams. Rutgers is already 2 games up on last year with a defense that could potentially give Ohio State a little bit of trouble. But I mean, let's face facts. Really, Rutgers is not as good as Wisconsin, and even if they get the turnovers that Ohio State is likely to cough up, Rutgers probably won't be able to capitalize on them either. And I honestly don't know what else to say about this game. It's going to be fairly lopsided at some point. So I've got the Buckeyes over Rutgers 31-10.
11 seconds left, and I completely disagree with almost everything that you said.
As you should. Even if you're wrong. Which you likely are.
Fair.
Probably
no,
not.
What? No.
What? Who?
Excuse you?
When?
Excuse you? You must be stopped. Next.
Our last game is... well, not our last game. It's close to our last game. It's our last ranked game. Purdue at number 2, Michigan. Michigan has returned or will return. Mac, are you ready?
I'm so ready. It's crazy. I feel
You
like
are on the clock.
Said that for the last
What?
2. All right, whatever. Go.
All right, you're already 10 seconds down. No.
What?
You're on the clock right now. Ready, set, go.
All right, let me just say, I feel awful for Purdue. Okay, really, Michigan's anger should be taken out on Ohio State, and it will be. But you can bet they're going to be looking to do some of the stuff of nightmares to every team that they have left on their schedule, no matter who it is. Michigan is going to destroy Purdue, and in a way, that'll make you not want to watch unless you just spent the last 2 weeks listening to your team get dragged through the mud in a witch hunt that makes the Salem witch trials look well thought out. Everyone hates the NCAA until they go after your rival. Y'all are a bunch of hypocrites. Anyway, I've got Michigan ending this one early and JJ sitting early in the third quarter. Give me Michigan 56 to goose egg.
11 seconds left. Well done.
Thank you. I was getting some anger out on that one.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah.
It's cathartic. It's cathartic.
It is. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, your time starts now.
Michigan is going to be playing with a vengeance now. Because when you tell players the caliber of Michigan, they can't win without cheating, it makes them real angry. And you don't want to see Michigan when they're angry. The question is, how badly will they take it out on Purdue? And yet, if Michigan is looking ahead, they probably won't pull out all the stops on Purdue because they're saving that for Penn State the following week. For Purdue's part, they lost to Ohio State 41-7, and the only reason I don't think Michigan will put as many points on the board is because they don't have to. Still, we are talking about the spoiler makers here, and if Michigan isn't careful, Purdue can upend their season, and that will make the Penn State and Ohio State games really interesting. But my guess is this game will be nearly as boring as the Bowling Green game. Sorry, Purdue. I love you guys. You're like my second favorite team, but I'm calling Michigan 42-3.
You had 5 seconds left.
Boom!
One question for you. Why
What?
are they your second favorite team?
I don't know. They're cool. That whole
They do have
train
a
thing
big
they got
town.
going on, they drive the train around town.
That's true. Oh, they do? Really?
They do, yeah.
Oh, sweet. They've got a pretty big drum, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest drum in the world,
Well,
if you don't count the one in Texas and China.
China.
Which we don't, because we don't have to. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend watching football. Have fun watching football. Remember, #MakeFootballFun again. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. This is Big Ten Team Rivalry.